This is Matt Reardon with Lafayette County Audit. Today I'm back at Holly Springs City Hall. I've heard that they've gotten bombarded with calls today where they're not answering. Let me turn this around and show you. I've got a notice of claim to file. City Clerk. Tired of my rights getting violated, pushed around, and nothing happening. Hello. Hi there. City Clerk. You the City Clerk? I need to file this. I'm not gonna wear a mask.
I just got the A.
Yeah, I understand. This is a formal notice of claim. Show it to Mississippi Law. Oh, I need to sign it too. All right. Y'all gotten quite a few phone calls today? I think I saw in some comments that y'all had received a few phone calls about yesterday. Hello.
How are you?
Good. I was here to get this turned in, stamped. Oh, hello. See? Spoke to you this morning on the phone. I'm here to file a formal notice of claim with the City Clerk pursuant to Mississippi law.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. All
And I need to get a copy of it.
Okay. No, that's not how we do it, but we'll be happy
I'm
to
sorry,
stamp it.
that complies with the requirements of the statute.
You can stamp it and then just give him a copy back.
I need it signed
as
too.
As far as the date stamp.
I need it signed as well. Is this intimidation, guys? I'm here conducting a lawful business, serving the City Clerk with a formal notice. Ma'am, let me just make sure. I need this signed.
She's not going to sign it. She put it through our normal processes. If your attorney has any questions
That's-
about it, he's welcome to call us.
Okay, well, it's an acknowledgement of receipt.
She put it through our normal process, and then we'll respond as we normally do. Thank
Okay,
you.
well, all right. Well, that came from the mayor. They've received it. It is stamped received. The refusal to sign on the last page. But all lawful requirements have been met. Y'all take care.
Thank you.
Problem with the police departments nowadays, Chief, is it comes from the top down. It's a leadership problem. And it sucks for the good officers. So, I just got done serving a formal notice of claim at the city clerk's office, which is the requirement whenever it comes to a municipality, a city, okay? By Mississippi law, I had to put in a formal notice of claim. In that, I had to specify everything. I had to specify the people. I had to specify the damages, okay? And I did that. As you can see, of course, the mayor didn't want to sign in the spot to acknowledge receipt. That's okay, because the video evidence will suffice that I went through the proper procedure, brought it to the city clerk, it was stamped, they just refused to sign it. Sore losers. It's really, really tacky. It's really unprofessional. And the citizens of Holly Springs should be calling for a new mayor. Pastime. This is what the notice of claim says. Claimant, Matthew Reardon. Claimee, City of Holly Springs, Holly Springs Police Department, Mayor Sharon Gibson, Chief Glover, the Chief of Police, Chief Investigator Palmer, and Officer Carter, badge H8. Notice provided to the Holly Springs City Clerk. Narrative reads as follows. At approximately 16:15 hours on 10/27/2022, I, Matthew Reardon, entered Holly Springs City Hall as a journalist gathering content for a story. I was walking and filming the publicly accessible lobby and walkways. When I got to the stairs and began to climb them, I was approached by a lady whom would later identify herself as Mayor Sharon Gibson. Mayor Gibson told me I had to check in, to which I asked if this was a requirement for all citizens that enter City Hall and if this was not a public building. She responded that it was a public building but not open to the public. She stated that it is more open than it has been, as it used to be fully locked up. She then proceeds to telling me that I have to wear a mask or else I had to leave the building. I advised that due to health reasons, I had bad difficulty breathing while wearing a mask and that I could not comply with her rule. She then ordered me to leave the building, to which I responded that it was a public building paid for in whole by the taxpayers and that I had a right to be there. Mayor Gibson then asked an employee to call the chief of police in order to have officers come to City Hall to order me to leave. She said I was not allowed to walk around and film any office, which I advised her I was not recording the inside of offices and had video evidence showing this. I advised the mayor that I was not trying to cause any type of disturbance. At this point, she goes around to every office vocally advising them to close their doors for safety reasons. Shortly after, 2 police officers arrive, whom identify themselves as Detective Walker, badge B2, and Officer Anderson, H12. I advised the officers that I was engaged in a lawful and constitutionally protected activity. I offered to provide federal case law which supports in full that which I had claimed. I then advised the officers that being ordered to leave without valid lawful reason would be a blatant violation of my constitutional rights, which I was standing firm on. Minutes later, 2 other officers enter, whom I asked for their name and badge numbers and was never provided them. Approximately 3 minutes after that, officer number 5 comes in, identifying himself as Officer Carter, badge H8. Behind him was Chief Detective Palmer. Palmer from the beginning showed complete bias and favoritism towards the mayor and her claims, even stating, "Do you know who she is? She is the mayor." Palmer told me to wait outside as he went inside to talk to the mayor. Approximately 5 to 10 minutes later, he emerges and asks me to walk down the steps and talk to him. Officer Carter was outside watching while conversing with an employee. He asked about the story I was journalizing on, and I advised him I would not divulge that information. I then asserted that my presence was lawful and constitutionally protected. He stated that I was scaring people, yet he refused when I offered to show him video contradicting that statement. I stated to him that policy and ordinance does not trump law and the Constitution. He began to escalate matters at that point while being approximately 12 inches away from me. I advised him to de-escalate and to get about 6 feet from me. He states then that if he orders me to leave and you don't leave, that we will have a problem. I responded stating that if I'm ordered to leave under threat of arrest, that I would leave. At this point, Chief Detective Palmer re-escalates the matter and starts encroaching into my space. It is then that Officer Carter, whom was watching everything, is seen on video turning 180 degrees around and intentionally looking away so that he would not be an eyewitness, nor would his body camera see anything that would come. I keep verbalizing for Chief Detective Palmer to give appropriate space and then finally verbalize loudly to back up. Palmer then goes to clip his radio on his belt, and while doing so gave off the impression that he was potentially reaching for his service weapon. All of this as Palmer came to within 1 foot of me as I was steadily backing up and filming what was transpiring. As he is doing this, he is continuously ordering me to go. This type of intimidation and behavior is completely unacceptable. Making matters worse is the refusal to look at video evidence that captured everything start to finish. On 10/28/2022, I called the police department to speak with the chief of police about all that transpired the day before. This was the point that a female answered the phone and claimed to be the police chief. When I said I wanted to report major issues with multiple officers in the department, the lady hung up the phone on me. Upon calling back for the chief of police, the real chief of police answered. I told him that somebody had just posed. What a coincidence. I'll read the rest while I'm walking. Jesus. Go figure. All right. Upon me calling back for the chief of police, the real chief of police answered. I told him that somebody had just posed as him and hung up upon me, stating that I was trying to report multiple officers. I was trying to go over the details of the day before, when the chief of police showed absolutely zero care or interest to the facts I was describing. At this point, it became clear that regardless of facts and the oaths of office administered, that he would not entertain any of it and would not be reprimanding either officer I had attempted to report. I advised if he would not hear my complaint and take action, that I would report the matter to the Federal Bureau of Investigations. The call then ended. The claims presented against the city of Holly Springs, Mississippi include allegations of police misconduct, threat of violence, abuse of power, public corruption. A federal complaint will be filed pursuant to the requirements of this notice under 42 U.S. Code 1983, 42 U.S. Code 1986, and under the Mississippi Tort Claims Act for all violations stemming from violations of my First Amendment right by all listed parties and neglect to prevent by Officer Carter, Chief Glover, and Holly Springs Police Department. The aforementioned will be filed 90 days upon the denial of this claim, unless damages in the amount of $50,000 are remitted before that time. So submitted this 28th day of October, 2022. Matthew Reardon.